Hey guys, it's Nicole, and today I have a quick process video. I have mentioned before that I am a member of an online forum, and occasionally we do challenges and crops and whatnot, and one of the girls is running a speed scrap challenge. And for me, my go-to with the speed scrap challenge is to sort of force myself to kill as many Scrapbook generation page kits as I possibly can. And I started out with like all these great intentions until I got through maybe only like 3 or 4 kits and realized that I did not actually have that many paired up with pre-printed photos. So now I'm kind of stuck in this like, oh no, I need to sit down and match photos, and it's just not clicking mentally right now. So I am deciding to sit down and slowly start editing some of these videos. This particular kit, I believe, is from part 3 of like the April 2016 Super Sketch Club kit, where it's the 3 parts and stuff. And so basically the materials that were in this part, you pick which sketch you want to follow, which sample photo you want to follow. I don't remember whose I went with, but I went with one that had basically it worked better with my photos. That's typically what I will end up doing, is when I match up photos to a kit, I'm looking at how many photos do I have in the orientation of them and which sketch is going to work better, and that's typically what I go with. This one, I really struggle, and I think it's a white space thing, where your photos just kind of seem like they're in kind of like a homemade collage and stuff, but they just feel like they're floating to me because they're just straight on the background with no pattern paper, no little strip of striped paper, which I could have added that. Obviously there's enough paper included that you can pretty much do whatever you want. But with speed scrap, I was just get it done, follow the directions, bare minimum kind of a thing. And so typically when the photos, I feel like, don't match, I guess maybe how much effort or how much attention is on the papers with like inked edges and stickers and whatnot, the papers sometimes just feel blah to me if they're just straight on the paper like this. My really simple quick fix for that, if I don't want to mat them, I don't want to try to work in other paper, is I will just take whatever ink I'm inking my papers and I will ink my photos with that as well. And to me, it just makes it feel like it kind of goes along with everything else. Everything kind of has that brown border on it, and it just makes sense to my mind. Typically, like I said, I'll mat them on like white paper and then ink them, or I'll put them on pattern paper. I sort of just did not allow myself to get weirded out by it because I was focused on speed scrap. And like what I'll normally do is I will go through and do paper, photos, and most of the embellishments on as many layouts as I possibly can, and then I'll stop, do journaling for all of those, go back and attach all my journaling, finish the embellishments, date stamp if I'm going to do enamel dots or sequins. Then I'll take pictures of everything because I have to upload it to the forum, proof of how many layouts that you've done, and then some extra photos that I take for process videos and whatnot. So I kind of will just take it, instead of one layout all the way through start to finish, I will just do batches of, I'm doing photos and paper, I'm doing batches of journaling, I'm doing batches of finishing touches, batches of the editing side of it, and that's just kind of what works for me. So far, today is February 7th. So far, I think I have 9 doubles, which counts as like 18 entries, because it's if you do a double, you get 2 entries into the challenge or whatever. So I'm hoping that I can kind of keep up this momentum. It started on the 1st, so I'm 7 days in. A friend of mine told me today that she has actually done one layout every day for the month of February so far, like completed the layout within the day type of thing, which I think is amazing. I feel like I can't just like sit down and focus, because even with the speed scrap, I'm kind of up there for like an hour and a half listening to YouTube videos, and then I will just sort of stop because I've just gone go for an hour and a half. I kind of have to stop, walk away, go do housework, laundry, eat lunch, that type of thing, and then if I'm feeling like it, I'll go back up. In the past, when I've done speed scrap, I've kind of just set myself up ahead of housework, ahead of other life things. And I've gone up there and done like 3-4 hour sessions a day and really killed some kits. But this time I'm just sort of going with the tiny bites of the elephant at a time. And I'm hoping that by the end of each session, I will have killed a bunch of kits. But like I said, I'm in this weird thing where when I'm flipping through my kits, I'm either not finding a kit, like, how do I explain this? I had found some specific event pictures and I wanted specific kits that matched in my mind to the feeling. I wanted to match those photos to certain kits. Well, I couldn't find kits that went with those photos. So then it was like I'm flipping through kits and some of them are old enough that, and I'm sure we all get this way, where you've either looked at it so many times or it's just starting to get dated and you're just not motivated to use it. It doesn't look fresh or it's not holding up with trends and whatnot. So I'm sort of just struggling with this. I have a bunch of photos, I have a bunch of kits, and for whatever reason, A and B are not meeting in the middle. And I don't know if it's just you have to kind of be in the mood for that type of thing. And I do have a couple more kits that the photos are actually matched, the journaling is typed and stuff like that, and I'm trying really hard not to open those kits and get into them because I have a local crop that I'm going to, which is actually hosted by the Scrap Room. It's a kit club. And again, when I go to crops, I take Scrapbook Generation kits. So I'm trying really, really hard to bring those with me and focus on those. So meanwhile, while I've been talking, okay, this kit was from 2016. Scrapbook Generation has recently changed the way that they do the Super Savers Kit Club, or Super Sketch Club kit, where the Super Savers part is still the same. It's still, I think it's 4 pattern papers, 6 cardstocks, and then you either get a 12x12 sheet of stickers or a pack of die cuts. That part stays the same. And then it used to be part 2 and part 3, you got, I think, 3 sheets of pattern paper, 2 sheets of cardstock, and no embellishments. Like, all of your embellishments were coming from the papers, so it was cut aparts or fussy cutting and stuff like that. They have since changed it to where now you get stickers or die cuts for part 2 and part 3. But I was not thinking about that when I went to do this layout, and again, I'm in the mindset of just go, 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 get it done, get it done. And then I got to this part and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Cutting out Incredible was fine. It was a straight cut, notch the ends. And then I realized that they had fussy cut the word amazing, and they had fussy cut all these little flowers off of the flower pattern paper, and it was just like I feel like I got everything else on the layout done in the same amount of time it took me to fussy cut those flowers and stuff. So it was just kind of like, like I'm losing my speed here. Luckily, I decided, don't cut any more than what was in the sample. I liked the ones that they had cut out in the sample, and I was like, don't cut any more. Let's just not go there. So I don't currently subscribe to that club, but I do think that it's kind of interesting now that the part 2 and part 3, you still pick what sketch and sample you want to follow, but they've switched up where instead of fussy cutting some of the elements out of the papers, you have more pre-made embellishments, which I think are always kind of fun to play with. Sometimes I get a little tired of the 12x12 sticker sheets just because, I don't know, I think when you do a Super Saver 3 layouts back to back, you're just kind of over putting foam tape on stickers, and that'll be coming in another video because I did a couple of those during Speed Scrap, and it was like, I'm so tired of foam tape. I'm so tired of these sticker sheets. But I am really glad that I'm getting a lot of kits like completely killed. Like this one was a part 3 for a kit from 2016, and I'm pretty sure I had already done the Super Savers for it and part 2, so that's, a 5-page kit that I have completely killed, and I can throw the scraps in my scrap bin and I can kind of call it done, which is really nice. I did add a couple phrase stamps just to this open area, and it was mostly because I didn't have much journaling to say. These photos are so old, all I could remember was the fact that we went to Macaroni Grill for Mother's Day. I didn't really have anything else to say. So the stamping was just to kind of fill in the space. So here's some detailed photos of the layout, and I will be back in another day or two with another Scrapbook Generation page kit for the Speed Scrap Challenge that I am participating in. As always, thanks for stopping by.